Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank you for joining us today for another session in our 2021 virtual benefits fair. Um, we are thrilled that you could be here today to find out more information about our benefit offerings. I am Kimberly Williams. I am your Assistant Town Manager, and joining me today with co-hosting duties is Jessica Rojas, who is our HR generalist, and rounding out our HR department is Tracy Lavoy, who is our payroll and benefits specialist. I would like to remind everyone that this session is being recorded so that you can view this presentation later today. We have with us Vito DeSimone, who is representing Empower Retirement in the Massachusetts Deferred Compensation Smart Plan. So with that, I will turn the session over to you, Vito.
Perfect. Thank you, Kim, Jessica, Tracy. Appreciate all the hard work. I'd like to thank you guys. I think it's a great testament to the town that you guys are coordinating this benefits fairs. And I think it's great that you're able to provide this to all of your employees. So kudos to you guys. So just to get started, and to introduce myself, my name is Vito DeSimone. I'm a retirement plan advisor with the state of Massachusetts 457B plan. I've worked on the plan for almost 9 years now. And this plan is offered through the Office of the State Treasurer and Receiver General. It's a voluntary plan option offered to employees throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We work with about 275,000 participants within the plan. So it's pretty robust. It's a very large plan. And I'm just going to kind of get into some of the details of the plan, discuss some of the investment options. So let me navigate now to our agenda for today. So today we're going to just talk about the SMART plan. We're going to discuss the highlights of the plan, the nuts and bolts of what a 457 deferred compensation plan is and how it works. Then we'll talk about the importance of saving for retirement, how much you might want to save, and strategies for investing those savings. We'll also discuss the different paths of investing, that are available to you through the SMART plan. And later, we're going to open it up for questions and answers. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So your SMART plan, really is a powerful tool to help you as you journey to retirement and throughout your retirement years. The plan is a voluntary supplement to your pension and any other retirement benefits that you might have. It provides you the opportunity to save and invest extra money for retirement tax deferred. Okay. Now, just to dive a little bit right in, let's talk about what a 457 deferred compensation plan is. It's a governmental 457 plan. It's a contributory retirement plan designed specifically for employees of state, local government, public entities like your organization. It operates in Section 457B of the Internal Revenue Code. You participate in the plan through voluntary salary deferral, and your contributions and any earnings are tax deferred until withdrawn, which is usually retirement. Participation in the state's 457B SMART plan, the full-time SMART plan account, does not reduce your pension or your Social Security benefits. So I like to call that out. So just to go over some of the plan's highlights. Sorry, that keeps popping up. The plan certainly can offer every participant the value of strength and growth. The plan's assets are approximately $12 billion in assets. It's one of the state's largest retirement plans. There's again over 275,000 participants, an average account balance of just over 103,000. And there's 28 different investment fund options that really do provide a variety of asset classes and management styles so that you can diversify a appropriate portfolio from a risk perspective when creating your SMART plan. And approximately 700 non-state entities participate in this plan, and every state agency participates in this plan. So when choosing to participate in the SMART plan, know that the state treasurer is committed to providing a valuable savings tool to help you meet your personal retirement goals. So my first bullet here just kind of goes over how much can you contribute and how you can contribute. You must be a full-time employee and work at least 20 hours a week. And the minimum contribution to get started within the plan is 1% of your gross income or $10 per pay period, whichever's less. Enrolling in the plan is relatively simple. You have the ability to enroll online, or there's paperwork that you can complete in order to enroll in the plan. Now, there are maximum contribution limits to the state's 457B plan. If you're under 50 years of age, your IRS limit is $19,500 a year that you can save within the plan. There's an age 50 plus catch up to really accelerate your savings rate once you're 50 years of age or older and you want to increase what you save. Obviously, as time goes on, your expenses hopefully aren't weighing out your income. So that's good, and it'll provide you the opportunity to save a little bit more as you get older. And then there's a 3-year catch-up provision that's pretty unique to 457B plans, where individuals can raise their IRS limit in their final 3 years to $39,000. And I know many of you are probably saying, whoa, there's no way I can possibly save that much for retirement. What I find that within many of my city, state, town agencies throughout the Commonwealth, when individuals are exiting employment, they like to utilize this 3-year catch-up provision to tax defer their lump sum payouts when exiting. So say you left the city, state, town agency, or in this case, the town, and they're paying out sick time. Rather than taking that into pocket and being taxed on those dollars and cents right away, many individuals use these catch-up provisions to defer that into their plan so they don't pay taxes right away, and then they take distributions gradually as time progresses to supplement their pension, Social Security, and retirement, and have that money actually cook, compound, and grow for them to accelerate their retirement income. Now, moving on, your smart plan offers a wide range of investment options to help you meet your personal investment goals. So we're going to kind of go over some of the investment options with you. Certainly that maybe now you're in the savings frame of mind, seeing how much you can save within the plan. It's time to think of, how will I invest my money that I contribute to my smart plan account? You certainly have a range of different choices. One choice is Smart Path retirement funds, which I'd like to elaborate in the next slide. Another choice is using Empower Retirement's advisory services. And this is brought to you through the Advised Asset Group, which is a registered investment advisor firm. I'm going to elaborate on that in a few minutes. Or you can opt to build and monitor your own investment portfolio. If you're confident crunching numbers, evaluating investments, you have the freedom to choose from among the 16 low investment fee options within the plan. Additionally, if you're looking beyond the plan's investment options, you also have the choice to create a self-directed brokerage account through the plan through TD Ameritrade. My caution is that's really intended for a knowledgeable investor who understands the risks associated with investing in a self-directed brokerage account. But regardless of the path you choose, you'll also have support from your local retirement plan advisor, being me, who can answer any questions you might have about a particular investment. So let's start by taking a look at the Smart Path retirement funds. What's nice about these funds is they're a one-step option that offers a diversified mix of investments designed specifically to provide the right level of investment risk based on your planned retirement date. The date in a target date fund's name represents approximate date when an investor would expect to start withdrawing his or her money. So as you get closer to retirement, what's nice about these funds is the fund automatically rebalances to reduce the amount of investment risk in your portfolio, automatically becoming more conservative as you age, as you get older, as you get closer to retirement. And that's, as a general rule of thumb, you want to carry less risk the closer you get to retirement and throughout your retirement years to be ready to spend down that nest egg that you've accumulated. You want your dollars and cents to still cook, compound, and grow throughout your retirement years, but obviously not nearly as aggressive as you would be investing when you're in the early stages of planning for your retirement. And the nice thing is these Smart Path funds automatically adjust the level of risk as time goes on. So it takes the onus off of you to adjust your exposure to the market over time. And the reality is you don't have to know anything about investing or how they work to have, a well-diversified portfolio that offers the appropriate level of risk for your targeted retirement age. So it's a very nice option to utilize. And these funds were created through AllianceBernstein, which is a very reputable fund provider for the state's 457B plan. So, I mean, the reality is most plan participants aren't retirement planning experts, nor do they really want to be. To help you address your retirement planning, your investment needs, styles, your plan, this plan offers Empower Retirement's advisory services. And there's kind of two levels of services. So the first service that I like to talk about is online advice, where you would use sophisticated planning tools within the plan on the website to generate a portfolio based on your financial situation. You would use the investment options available within the SMART plan through this tool. And I think this is a great option for those who want to validate their already adjusted, adopted strategy, if you will, to get validation that you're doing the correct things, that you're allocated appropriately within your portfolio, that you're on track for a specific amount of income in retirement with your assets, whether it be your pension, Social Security, outside investments. So a pretty robust tool that you can use. And you have the freedom and flexibility to really implement your own investment choices and manage them online, and then generate new recommendations as your life situation changes. Now, the other option here, and that's the first option on the list, is My Total Retirement. So this is for those of you that really prefer letting the professionals handle the management of your portfolio. The Advised Asset Group serves as the investment manager and the advisor, where we will pick a diversified allocation of investment options from your SMART Plans lineup to fit your unique situation, your retirement goals. We'll monitor and rebalance your account over time as the market fluctuates and life changes occur to help to ensure your strategy stays on track. Essentially, we're going to be your financial advisor. This is another service that's offered through the plan, My Total Retirement. Now, we do understand that many individuals come from other agencies, walks of life, whether you worked in the private sector before, now you're here in the public sector. You might have worked for a nonprofit educational institution. So I want you to know that you do have the ability to roll over many different retirement assets into the SMART plan. The benefit of doing that is taking advantage of the very low internal costs and expenses when compared to other retirement plans. Again, this plan is massive in size with over $12 billion in assets. So the funds that you get access to within the SMART plan has very low internal costs and expense ratios when compared to other plans. And that's really what separates it from other plans, is the economies of scale. And the rollover process is relatively simple and straightforward. You typically contact that other provider where you hold the other retirement plan. And then, I'd be happy to work with you as your local retirement plan advisor to consolidate those plans. We also do have a team, our Retirement Solutions Group, that specifically deals with rolling over assets, and they can reach out to you with your other provider to kind of walk you through that process. As we know, it's a pretty cumbersome process, but there's some significant advantages of consolidating your plans into the SMART plan due to its very low internal operating costs and expenses. So moving on, the purpose of your SMART plan account is for retirement. So your options for withdrawal can be somewhat limited due to the IRS regulations. And I just like to call these out because I always get that as a question. So you may access your SMART plan account under these scenarios. One, once you separate from employment. So it's not technically age-based. It becomes accessible when you walk out the door from your current employer, being the town. You can start taking in-service distributions at age 59 and a half. So once you hit that magic age of 59 and a half, the plan now becomes accessible. And that was through the Secure Act. So it's a recent change to 457B plans. If you pass away, your loved ones, your beneficiaries are going to get access to your smart plan account. So it's important to name appropriate beneficiaries on this account. Oops, sorry, I navigated away from this page. Hopefully that's not blocking you guys. Unforeseeable emergencies as well. So as an active employee, typically you cannot touch your 457B plan account. But if you do have a catastrophic hardship written to the Internal Revenue Code, then the plan would become accessible. Just to give you an example of that, to prevent imminent foreclosure of a home, eviction notice, funeral expenses of a direct family member, that would give you access to your deferred comp plan under a hardship withdrawal. And then lastly, we have this bullet here, $5,000 in-service distribution. And these are available in limited circumstances under the terms of the SMART plan. So I would encourage you to give me a call. We can explore that. But typically, if you have a balance under $5,000 in 2 years of inactivity, then your plan would become accessible as a de minimis distribution. Another thing to call out, at age 72, most plans require required minimum distributions. And that's, the point in time when you first have to start taking contributions from these plans. Prior to that, you'd have to qualify under one of these different scenarios. And if you are still working beyond age 72, you wouldn't be forced to take required minimum distributions until you separated from employment. So just to give you a little tidbit there. So, whether within the SMART plan, there's a range of different routes you can go to view your account. One is the website here, the mass-smart.com, where you could log on to the account. Right on this website, you could register, you could change your contributions with a few button clicks, and that will be communicated to the town. We have offices throughout the state: Waltham, Boston, Springfield, Worcester. Presently, we're not open due to COVID, but in time, those offices will reopen if you want to meet with your, meet at one of those work locations, as well as we do come out to your employer locations throughout the town to meet and do education. I'm the local retirement plan advisor in the town, and you can see there, that's my contact information below. So I want everybody to take that down if you would like to explore the SMART plan as an investment plan option. Or if you have an existing account and you'd like to set up an appointment to do a holistic retirement readiness review. Through this time, I've had the opportunity to do many virtual meetings with participants using WebEx, customizing their financial plans. It doesn't cost anything to utilize our financial advisory services to do a holistic review of your financial situation. So if you have an existing account and you haven't taken advantage of sitting down with myself in a long time, I certainly would encourage that. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for attending this seminar today, and I'd be happy to open it up for questions if we have time now. And I'm going to leave my contact information that's at the bottom of this page, just so you can take it down if you wanted to reach out to me. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Vito. So as he said, if you have some questions, please feel free to unmute yourself or to put your question into the chat, and we're happy to have our expert here answer those questions for you. So Vito, I'll ask a question if I can while we're waiting. Can you just talk a little bit about how that 3-year catch-up provision would work within the SMART plan?
Sure. So the 3-year catch-up provision, we look for years where an individual under contributed to their SMART plan account or the 457B option that's offered through the town. Because you have under contribution years, it allows you to over contribute those final 3 years. So that's technically how the application for catch-up works. And then we communicate that your IRS limit is raised to the 39,000 to Bridgewater, and they in turn update it within the payroll code so that you're not limited to the 19.5 or the 26,000 based on your age. It's paperwork we would work through together, though.
Great. Any other questions in the chat? As I'm trying to learn more, I'll just ask another. If I have existing retirement accounts, how will I roll those over into the Smart Plan account?
Yeah, sure. So one way is you and I could work through that process together, but typically you'd reach out to your previous provider where you hold that 401k or 403b. If it's a plan that you have within the town, another 457b plan, because I know there's a few plan options, you can transfer those into the plan or out of the Smart Plan to one of those other plans is an option. But it's typically starts with procuring the appropriate paperwork in order to do so. And then we would reach out to that other provider with you to assist with that rollover process. That's pretty much the format. We would want to have your most recent statement because that's a way we can prove that's another qualified plan so that we do a appropriate rollover. And there's no tax consequences when you're rolling over assets.
Excellent.
Sure.
Are there any additional questions? Either in the chat or please feel free to unmute yourself.
I have a question, Kim. Hi, Vito. My question is, when can
I don't
take?
think we can't hear you, Jessica. Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, we can hear you. Yep.
Yes. Okay. My question: when can I take distributions from my Smart Plan account?
Sure. So the main qualified event is the separation from employment. That's when the plan becomes accessible. That's true to all 457B plans. There's certain events like hardships. Last year there was COVID related distribution. So there are those certain circumstances where you can take distributions in service, but the primary event is separation from service or attainment of age 59 and a half is when it becomes accessible if you are still working. Those are primarily the timeframes when you can start taking distributions.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Jessica, did you have another or anyone else?
No, that's all. No other questions.
Perfect. Perfect. So as I don't see any additional questions, I want to thank you, Vito, so much for joining us today and giving us this great information. Again, Vito's information is on the site right now that you can look, and we will be downloading this presentation so that you can view it later at your leisure. If you have questions, as always, please feel free to reach out to Vito. He's an outstanding resource and can help walk you through any questions that you have. I will remind everyone that today begins our open enrollment period, and that open enrollment period runs through Friday, May 14th. And this is the time that you can make voluntary changes to your benefits plan. Otherwise, you cannot do so without a qualifying event. So we want you to keep that in mind as you are considering your benefit options this year. Please feel free to reach out to HR if you have any questions or need forms. And again, I will thank you again, Vito, and thank you for joining us today. Please join us for our remaining sessions of our virtual fair. And again, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.